This question from this morning, is there any regrets of supporting this bill? Do you have any regrets at all, Mr. Luxon?
No, because this is the reality, Jenny May, which I think media and also the New Zealand public understand at some level, is that rightly or wrongly, the New Zealand people have chosen the MMP system as the electoral system here in New Zealand.
What?
And that means, as you see in modern MMP environments all around the world, think about Western Europe, for example, that you will have coalition governments. And there are now 6 parties in the parliament here in New Zealand that have different views and different perspectives and represent different groups of New Zealanders. And that is how the people of New Zealand want it to be, that they come together and we actually have to make compromise in order to actually form governments. And it's the same on all sides, whether it was a Labour Te Pāti Māori Greens-led government, in this case, ACT New Zealand First International.
Let's pause that just for a second there, eh? This is a genuine question. People in the chat, help us out. Can you think, Chewy, of any kind of legislative manoeuvring that, say, the Greens would do in coalition with Labour, or Te Pāti Māori would do in coalition with the Greens and Labour, that would be so, I don't know, disrespectful of the country, that would be so controversial? Like, is there anything, like straight away, I think Māori Party maybe wanting a Māori parliament. If that was we're not going to partner with you, then you know what would happen? They wouldn't partner with them. But can you think of anything, like any kind of policy that's so divisive and so kind of out there on the wing that any of those parties would force the other one to participate in? Is there any?
Yes. This is a policy I'm going to come up with right now, though.
Sure.
Imagine if the Green Party would only go into coalition with Labour if they turned public golf courses into conservation land.
Yeah, but then
can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Yeah. Yeah, but they're not going to do that. I mean, like, so what I hear you saying is there's nothing that comes to mind immediately as an actual, like, think about the policies they had at the last election. There's nothing of those policies that are like, they would have to have, let's say, a Karen McAnulty Prime Minister going, oh, look, we don't really want to do this, but we have to because it's coalition and, have no choice. And I can't think of anything. Now, there might be something, that's why I'm saying chat, or if you're watching this on demand, put it in the comments below. What is something that you've heard from those parties that could be hated as much as this is by such a large portion of New Zealand? That's all. That's all.
Yeah, there's nothing. And his blaming of MMP, when we've had this for what?
Mid-90s, 30 years,
20 years, whatever. Like, MMP is not an unknown thing, but it's something that I've noticed that's creeping in is the criticism of MMP as a system, and now he's blaming his inability to make a deal that doesn't fucking explode all over him.
Yeah.
Is that's the fault of MMP. Look, I had to do it because you guys chose MMP. I don't want to do it. I wanted to rule this country like a king. But I have to share it with these two guys. And let me tell you, I am incapable of making a deal.
Better than me.
Said something about because I've been a CEO of an airline that you might be familiar with. I know all about mergers and acquisitions. There's nothing in my work history that suggests that that's true. But I'm going to say it. All I did was I was the CEO of Air New Zealand and I just stuck my finger in a P&L statement and I held on and hoped that the airline didn't collapse. Now, I followed Rob Fyfe. He was a great CEO. But all I had to do was not piss off the air crew. And I tell you, I wasn't able to do it. And then I was in politics. Mergers and acquisitions.